style before where you're scoring the defense for the scrimmage. How did that work out, and does it give added incentive for defensive players to do different things?
I think it almost gives you, another practice because the reality is when you're playing a spring game on, national TV, number one, you're cautious of, what all you're doing. You want to do good fundamental things, and you want to do your offense and do your defense, but you're kind of cautious what you're putting out there on film. And then the second thing is, as you divide your teams, it really, you start to lose some depth there. When you start putting this guy over here on this team on as safety and this guy at safety, you start to really lose your depth. And then this guy goes in at nickel. Heck, he's only played a few snaps in nickel because we're all together, offense and defense throughout the whole spring. So when you don't split the teams and just play offense and defense, you get to rotate your guys like you would in a normal game, and so does the offense. And so it really allows almost like an extra practice because the offense is getting their rotations, doing exactly how they would if they were going to go from 11 personnel to 12. They don't have to put maybe a third team tight end in there, hadn't been doing that, skill set. So it really gives you an extra practice.
Weird to you, or just kind of crazy to see how much of a spring game, quotation marks, is blown up? I mean, just said, national TV for it's not even a game. Or, it's obviously it's parceled down. It's not what it used to be, or it always make people think it is. Is it weird to kind of see that transpire?
Well, it's just, I'm used to having 3 people out there, and, one of them's my wife, in the spring game, so it's a little different, the mentality here, appreciative of it, and it's just awesome, to be part of Big Blue Nation.
What have you seen from the punters this spring as in the limited amount you've been able to kick?
Yeah, that's it. It's been limited just because the weather's been so bad. So you get out there. Max had a hard time because, Max is a lot like Jordan Berry was at Eastern, where he had to learn what pads to put in his pants and what this thing was underneath my helmet, and he didn't know those kind of things. So just like Jordan, he hadn't played football. Matt Patton played, football. So it was getting through that. And then, okay, now we finally get him in where he's understanding the protections and where he needs to launch the ball from. But then, he's hitting places in the roof. Well, he's kind of guessing. It's kind of like the golf simulator. You hit a nice shot and it hits that net. And, oh, yeah, that was a 300, yard. No, it was way over there in the woods, dude, if we really did this. So that's kind of what he figured out once he got outside there, Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be good. It hit that rafter up there on the right, but really that was out of bounds, So he had to get used to all that. But I've seen a great progression, for him. Very, very talented. His times have dropped as far as his op time because that's, something new obviously for him. All that schematic stuff, that he's counting on those other guys in protection. He's got to be in the right place. He's got to get it off in the right time. So that's all improved. And I've seen Grant, compete. Grant has really done a nice job as well with his op times coming down, his height getting better hang, and his punts getting longer and all that. But it's been limited because of the indoor deal.
See, you're using guys right now in the spring for special teams that may or may not be on that unit come the fall. How much
Right.
of it is you're trying to just kind of set it in and maybe get the blueprint down and hope that everybody else is paying attention too, because there could be some ebb and flow obviously once you get going.
Yeah, you're trying, punt, you're trying to get your scheme in, you try to get, your package in. All the others, you're trying to get the skill sets taught, the drill work that really relates when they get out there and do live ball. But you're also trying to find out about some people. You had to find out about some people, guys that were redshirted that you thought, what, he's going to be a good special teams player, next year. So we found out about some of those guys. And then we found some guys, like you always do. Zach Johnson last year was a guy that when we did punt, he was on the punt return scout team, and for 6 weeks we couldn't block him, and then finally we're like, well, why do we keep fighting this? Come on over here and be on the punt team, son. So we had him on the kickoff, and then he's a really important, essential guy for us on special teams, and I think really we found that this spring with Schlegel and Slusher. Those guys were on the scout team giving us a look, and we're having a hard time blocking them. All right, boys, come on over here and let's see if you can do it on the other side. So, just like in the fall, we maybe found some guys, and then this spring, because of some guys being redshirted that we knew were going to be players for us offensively and defensively, we found out about them. Were they for real or not?
Is what Charles Mushi did last year on special teams, does that help other guys kind of embrace that role and know that that's a big place they can impact the game?
Without question, it's, you know, his passion was contagious, and guys saw that, they fed off that they wanted to elevate their game. There's no question. You know what Moose did for us, it'd be, you know, be hard to describe and tell and put a measuring stick to. Man, that kid was phenomenal for us, phenomenal.